Hi everyone, my name is Gabriella Salsabila. Me and my group members will present our group work, The Analysis of Literature Work, with the title The Gospel According to Mark by Jeorge Luis Borges. My group members are Ester Nababan, Lila Ayudya, and Mahatma Prince. Please enjoy the video. The contents that we will talk about are writer's biography, plot, characters, point of view, setting, and moral value.
My name is Ester Nababan. I will briefly tell you about the author's biography of this story. So, who is the author of this story? The author of this story is Jeorge Luis Borge, was born on August 24 in 1899 in Buenos Aires, Argentina. He was died on June 14, 1986 in Geneva, Switzerland. He was an Argentina writer. He is specialist writer in short story, poem, and essay. He became classics of 20th century world literature. Even he never wrote a novel, he is considered one of the most important writers of his generation, not only in his native Argentina, but around the world. His innovative style and stunning concepts made him a writer's writer, a favorite inspiration for storytellers everywhere. In this slide, we are write down a third sum of books written by Jeorge Luis Borge. The first is fiction in 1944. The second is The Library of Bible in 1941, and the last is The South in 1953.
So, I'm Lila Ayudya P and I will talk about the plot of the story. Baltasar Espinosa is a medical student at the university in Buenos Aires. One day, Espinosa is invited by Daniel, his cousin, for a vacation to La Colorada during the summer break. Espinosa couldn't say no to his cousin's invitation and said yes because he would rather say yes than find an excuse to say no. There was a large ranch house that the Guthrie family lived in with the father Guthrie, his son who had a violent nature, and a daughter who didn't know who her father was. Guthrie's wife died years ago. Every day, Espinosa learns something new in the country, from unusual customs to something he suspects. A few days later, Daniel had to leave La Colorada to Buenos Aires to complete his business, leaving Espinosa alone. In the morning, Espinosa woke up because of the thunder that coming from outside from the house. The rain was pouring down on La Colorada and he was thankful for it. However, the Salado River was overflowed. The next day, it was still raining heavily and many places were already flooded. Espinosa helped the Guthrie family to evacuate to his house. He gave them a room at the back of his house close to the storehouse. They grew closer over time and ate meal together in the main house. And next, Espinosa learned that the Guthrie family could not read and write. They also began to forget English. The people had no faith and believed more in Calvinism and Pampas India superstition. Until one day, Espinosa went around the house looking for something to read. He found the Couture family tree, which was the original name of the Couture family. And then he found the book, the Gospel according to Santo Mark. He started reading it because during dinner and had the Couture family marveling and listening to what he was reading. The next day, Espinosa treated the sick with some pills until it was cured. The Couture family could not believe what they were saying and started following Espinosa everywhere. Espinosa sensed something strange when the Couture family started to speak in a slightly polite language. After reading Mark's Gospel, he wanted to read the other Gospels, but the Couture asked him to repeat Mark's Gospel so that his family would understand better. The second storm came and there was a knock outside Espinosa's room. Espinosa opened the door and walked in a naked girl. The girl was on the bed, shaking. She did not say anything. The next day, her father, Guthrie, talked about how Jesus was crucified. Espinosa was a little worried about being asked about what happened last night with her daughter. During lunch, Espinosa was asked to recount the last part of Mark's Gospel. Afterwards, Espinosa's neck was injured by continuous hammer blows and he had a bad feeling. In the end, Espinosa was forcibly taken to the backyard, and the Couture family brought down wood from the shed and shaped it into a cross. Next will be explained by my friend.
My name is Ester Nababan. I will tell the characters that we have analyzed from this story. For the first is Baltasar Espinosa, the second is Daniel, the third is Guthrie, and the last is the girl. For the first characters is Baltasar Espinosa. He is the main protagonist in the story. He is a medical student, and in the story, Baltasar Espinosa is called by his last name, which is Espinosa. And in the story, Espinosa is seen as a character who is reluctant. It means that he does not refuse other people's requests for him. And the second character is Daniel. He is Espinosa's cousin who invited Espinosa to the ranch for a summer vacation. Daniel's characters appears in the beginning of the story only. And the third character is Guthrie. Guthrie is a name of family. They are family who works at the ranch. There is a dad, a son, and a daughter. Guthrie is the character who has the most role in the story, apart from Baltasar Espinosa. The Guthrie family, they are lack formal education and struggle with communication. And the last character is the girl. She is a girl who lives in Guthrie family, and she has no clear identity of the Guthrie family.
Next is point of view. The story is written in the omniscient point of view or third-person point of view. In the story, narrator is not included in the story or be the part of the characters in the story. The narrator using the words like they, she, her, and him. The examples from the story are: first, after lunch, they asked him to read the last chapters over again. Second, none of them liked coffee, but for him, there was always a small cup into which they had sugar. Third, but the father asked him to repeat the one he had just read. Fourth, Arizona realized that he didn't even know her name.
My name is Mahatma Prince S. Today I'm gonna explain the setting. So, these events took place at La Colorada Ranch in the southern part of the township of Junin during the last day of March 1928. It is a rural area characterized by wide open space, fields, and settlements. The ranch itself is described as a slightly run-down ranch with a main house, where the foreman and his family live, and fields that are waterlogged due to heavy rains. And then I'm gonna explain about the place. There is three places mentioned on the story. The first one is La Colorada. La Colorada is a farm in countryside, probably in Argentina. In the early 90s, the ranch is rather old and worn, with a main house and living quarters for the ranch workers. The farm is surrounded by fields, some of which are waterlogged due to heavy rains. This is where the story takes place. So La Colorada is the most important places because many important things of the story happens at Colorado. And then the second place is bedroom. In the bedroom scene of the story, Gutierrez's daughter visits Espinosa at night to seek comfort. She enters his room silently, barefoot and possibly naked, and lies beside him on the bed. They do not speak each other, and there is no physical intimacy other than his presence beside her. So the bedroom is the second place when one of the important things happen on this place. And then the third place is backyard. The backyard is the area behind main house of La Colorada Ranch. It is here that the dramatic ending of the story takes place, with Espinosa realizing that Gutierrez has made a cross out of a broken roof and confronting him there. So backyard is the place that mentioned at the ending. It's the place where the Espinosa will get crossed but by Gutierrez's family.
Next is setting of time. In the evening. In the story, that is when Arizona can engage in activities like reading or conversing with the Gutierrez after dinner. At night, nighttime in the story is often associated with intimacy and vulnerability. This is when Gutierrez's doctor visits Arizona in bedroom. On Tuesday in this story, Arizona is awakened by a gentle knock on his door during the night, and Gutierrez's daughter enters his room in search of comfort. She lies beside him on the bed, trembling without saying a word. On Thursday, the second flood happened. The rain keeps pouring, and the river overflows again, flooding the fields around the ranch.
And then I'm gonna explain about the moral value. The story had like how trust can be built and destroyed, as seen in Espinosa's initial kindness towards the Gutierrez family that suddenly turned against Espinosa at the end of the story. So at the end of the story, we know that Espinosa got betrayed by Gutierrez family, and they gonna crucify him. And then another moral value is the importance of education. The story also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of ignorance and superstition. The story encourages us to value education and seek knowledge. So we know that at the end of the story, the Gutierrez family crucified Espinosa because they thought he was a prophet, because Espinosa can read the gospel. It indicates that the Gutierrez family is like education, and that's why the problem of this story is caused by the Gutierrez family.
So that's the end of our presentation. We hope you guys can understand our analysis, and thank you for watching our video.